Is this recording? Let me see. Sorry, I had to do a display capture for some reason. Okay. This chapter is there's a lot of revelations in this chapter. Very big story chapter. Probably to me the best chapter of the batch. I'm trying something different out. I've seen that not some people, colored manga dropped some colored volumes with Viz translation over it. So I've taken I've taken the Marina pages, but as far as I can tell, only the chapters only go up to 390, and Marina doesn't really appear again until 391 through that batch. But I do have her introduction. I'm gonna cycle through that throughout the video. But this chapter, we get some reveals. And the game is playing out. So the chapter starts off with the first card being chosen, and Marina explains her purpose. So she says her purpose or goal. This is a new translation. I believe it's Ragnarok's Canlations, or it's credited to Myth, but Myth's not a translator, so I'm guessing just he had the scans. So her purpose is the destruction of the Kingdom Kaken. We knew this, but her actual best purpose of the destruction. Her ultimate plan is destruction of humanity as a whole, and Borkson is like, she's explaining a little bit that, and then Borkson's like, well, that's nothing. You just said something with no explanation. So then we talk about festival orphans and the carnival. The carnival is a royal Kaken festival held once every few years in a random village. The royal entourage visits incognito to host a banquet. Yeah, right. They're divided into two groups: those who serve and others. And then they explain blasphemy. Blasphemy in this context, in olden days, it was even if a commoner chose to spoke to a royal. But under modern sensibilities, it's like, okay, can't use contraceptive or get abortions or try to genetic test, try to get something out of. Yeah, you can't do that shit. If you do that, immediately your family's gonna get killed. Or at least you will. It doesn't say the family. Actually, I added that part. My bad. Now, this translation uses Nissen Mono and meat. I don't know what the hell Nissen Mono means. I'm thinking that means second track fakers. That's like the second track fakers, the people with the 2 scars. Of course, they're all scarred, but I think the second track fakers are fast tracked into mafia leadership, so there'd be a lot less of them. In meat, let me backtrack a little bit. Marina's mother was raped basically for like several days. She died when she was 2. And then that's when we get the comment about her being classified as meat. She while she was classified as meat, she discovers that she is able to use Nin. And then so she starts explaining like how this, how I said it takes place every few years. Now this is extremely confusing, because she said she's the class of '98. Okay, that's all good and fine and good. That's fine. I mean, as far as we know it, Hunter x Hunter World takes place in, I believe the day would be 2000 right now. But let's just, for a second, let's take it into real world terms. So she says I'm part of the class of '98. It took me approximately 20 years. Okay, so if you do that math, that would bring you to 2018. And in 2018 is when Tagashi wrote the manuscript. So that part adds up. But then he's like the class of 20. Like, and I don't get it. It's supposed to be 2020 or 2000. That's probably, like I said, I didn't wait for the Tagashi's troop translation of this. This is probably the best time I had to film the video. So I apologize about that. She's saying basically like, this is not just like, the festival not something like, whoa, we just do this now, like, or they did it up like, 20 years ago. No, they did this 2 years ago. 2 years ago, they did this. In story, apparently. Like I said, the dates don't make any sense. There was something else I had to say about her. So that was her purpose / gold card. Like I said, I can't remember exactly what the Viz translation was. So she gets a Joker. The Joker really doesn't do anything in this sense. I guess. I like I said, the game's kind of complicated. I know for sure the Joker does nothing in this context. She asks Marina about her power. And then we get this funny scene where she blushes and she's like, I'm glad you're asking about me 2 cards in a row. I'll do my best to explain clearly. I just thought that was funny. So she explains Nin. So apparently she says Contagion is her ability. Contagion is her ability, which makes sense. So that's perfect segue into look at the page I have right here. Marina Prudo, level 45. Okay. So, first of all, I want to thank you very much. I'm deeply grateful to those of you who chose to follow me. When I used the ceremony to take over the family name as a junior member to utter my command to kill. However, I don't care about anything in this world, including myself. Let us destroy it all, just because. With the 23 of us assembled, and we have everybody here. I believe the people that are dead is... I don't know. Can you see my cursor? Luini is dead. And this guy's dead. Padule, or whatever his name is. I don't think anybody else has died yet. We've seen a lot of these in the story, by the way. Like, that was the guy with Heinrich. Him, and him, and him. They're going to go after Heinrich. That's the guy that did Nobunaga. So we got confirmation that's her ability. And yeah, this is the page I want to see. Upon reaching level 20, their own ability emerges. We learn later that it's actually level 21, so I guess they must start out at level 1, so it's more accurate to say upon gaining 20 levels, their own ability emerges. At level 100, the individual becomes a new member 0, and they can form their own community affected. Okay, so Marina's, this confirms this is her ability. She didn't get this from anyone else. That's what it says, at least, here. Oh, yeah, and then we have this crazy thing. Kill a prince and your level will increase by 50. Jesus, that's a lot. Now, level 50, like, these guys ain't no joke, level 50, by the way. We're going to see that probably later. Oh, okay, I remember what I did skip over, sorry. She says she's not the real Marina Perito. I don't know if she's saying, like, the real Marina, like, in a, like, a... How can I even explain the concept? Like to say, like, something traumatic happens to you and you're not the same person anymore. I don't know if she means that in that context, or she's literally not actually Marina Perito and Marina Perito's in a grave. We can't really tell from context. I feel like what she means is, like, more like, hey, this traumatic thing happened to me. I'm not who I was. I never can be that person again. I think that's what she means, but need further clarification on that. So she, like I said, I'm sorry, she explains abilities, but the important thing is Specialist apparently, if you remember Izunabe's explanation, who is Kurapika's mentor, who's with the Six Prince, that Specialist is placed in the diagram that he shows because, what is it, manipulators and conjurers are more likely to become Specialists later in life. The thing is, though, a Specialist can learn all the techniques equally, is what she basically says. But most specialists don't know this. This is like really like rare information. So they focus on a category that didn't even have to focus in. And like I said, you don't have to be a manipulator and conjurer to become specialist later in life. That's just like, they're more likely. So you could focus everything you had in transmutation, and really you're a specialist. And this kind of like, for like, as far as I understand it, like, as long as, it's not like you just get like the abilities, like, whoa, I just have it, haha. You have to train it, just like Kurapika had to do with Emperor Time. And a lot of people still even think Emperor Time is like kind of a broken, unfair ability. But Emperor Time for Kurapika is not like, not everything's sweet when he's in Emperor Time. It puts immense strain on his body. Only through training he was able to invoke Emperor Time on command. But that kind of explains why it's not just because of Emperor Time. It's also because he's a specialist while he's in Emperor Time, if that makes sense. And oh, another God, this is a really dense chapter. This is gonna be a longer video than usual. Borkson like has an internal monologue internal monologue about how her life was. And she says like that she sympathizes with Marina, but there's no possible way she can join her. Like she, even if some things about Kaken are wrong, which they are extremely wrong, she cannot just kill people to kill people. That's not exactly what they're doing. They're not killing people just to kill people. They're killing them to gain nin abilities, which is pretty much just as bad. She just cannot. She's like, I cannot do this. I cannot be like, I cannot join. She's like, I can't. She just, that's what basically she's saying in dialogue. Okay, here's the exact quote. It's uncomfortable and troubling to have our daily lives, which we thought would continue as usual in the vague future ahead of us, suddenly disrupted by somebody else's grand ambition. Like suddenly Marina's like, they didn't know about her, really. Maybe they knew about her slightly. But she's going to try to upend the whole country. Like, this is their whole lives. And Borkson doesn't want to kill her countrymen. Like, she just doesn't. Some of them are innocent. Like, probably a good bit of them are innocent. Another good part is, even if there was someone I wish would disappear from my life, I never considered choosing murder as the means to achieve that. So she cannot, like, fundamentally on an ethical level, she cannot coexist in Marina's group. She does not. She couldn't even think about if somebody she didn't like disappearing. She can't even. She never thought about murder. Is what. Yeah. So she could not ethically. Like, they just like ends from that completely. I explained the part about the specialist. She's saying, and the reason why their time's running out is like, hey, you're rare. A specialist is rare, but there's 200,000 people in the ship, and to my calculations, there's 1 in 3,000, which isn't super rare, like in the grand scheme of things. But it's kind of hard to get that many people trapped together, and like so Dogman can sniff them out. Like they're all like bunched up in here. It's like even in a crowded city, like there wouldn't be that many people in a concentrated group. So this is the best opportunity to find specialists. So, and then we go back to, that was the second Marina card. This is the second Borkson card, yes. So remember, the yes card is important because that's what Marina wants her to pick to join the group. She says, oh, what a shame. Has the decision been made that you won't join our team after the second card? And then Borkson remarks, her teammates are also disappointed. This further confirms that she doesn't cheat. I'm paraphrasing now. The real question is whether she had ever had this initiation game with someone who doesn't want to join her team. If I'm the first, then those reaction is natural. I think that means their reaction. That's a slight grammar mistake, but okay. And it's what is the X card situation? Okay, sorry. I was just reading. I'm looking at the chapter. So the third card that Marina, which one was the third card that Marina picked? Basically, X is like X makes the game null and void. So that way, it's different than no, because they'll treat the game as if it never happened, and they won't go after anybody that Borkson cares about. But the chapter ends with the third card. I'm just a little confused about what the third card for Marina was. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. That's not really important. It's more important Borkson cards are. So she loses the X, which sucks. So all she has is no. If she says no, they're gonna kill her straight up. And R, survival. R means, as far as I remember, R means you return one card from the graveyard. So I believe she can return X, or I can't remember. Is it limited to yes or no? Either way, she needs to make sure that the R card is the last one that is left. And then the chapter ends suddenly with martial law declared. Martial law declared. This is not drill. I repeat, this is not drill. I was rereading some of the chapters last night, just like I think just the end of 36, and he said that one of the guys was a corporal. He's like the impending martial law or martial law has been declared, but I don't. I think that was a mistranslation because this is definitely martial law right here. So this is a killer cliffhanger. She's lost the X card, which is the card that would let her get out of the situation without being killed. But it's not over because she still has the R card and the no card. So hopefully the game continues next chapter and we see the conclusion of it. But I just do want to like slightly go over these last kind of pages. So here we go. The 2 scars in the face. We know this is that's the second track fakers or second rakers. Just take a look at this page. With this, she's like, this is her declaration about liking the scar. I like the scar. Without it, I would have slid closer to death. With the scar, I was able to perch on the razor's edge. And we have this classic panel. In order to destroy this non-people world, I can keep trying just a little more. So for her goal, she doesn't want to, like, she just wants everything to be over, basically. But to reach her goal, she can keep on going. And I don't have really the pages, but as it pertains to the game, all the members of her thing truly sympathize with her. Like Padule, he was internally grateful for Marina to be able to give him the ability to kill, and also feel like that. You remember that from the badge. But now this is the page I want to focus on for a second. This is like, so we now have the context of why she wants to destroy the world. So, and we could see this coming up because if you see you remember the volume 37 cover has Marina. Well, not volume 38. What's it called? The color page of chapter 401. It has like Marina like looming over the black whale. This is a great page because it like symbolizes like the effect she has on the black whale journey, because she's her own faction and she's against all other factions. So I think that's a beautiful like symbolic color page. And I think her character is amazing, greatly fleshed out. I wonder if it'll be toned down in the Viz version. They weren't really direct about saying that. I don't think it will really be toned down because they're not like super direct. It's obvious that that rape was occurring by just reading the chapter, but they don't. This translation doesn't use that word. Like I said, I'm not sure what Nisan Mono means. I'm pretty sure that means second rakers or second track fakers. Like I said, the best chapter of the batch. Great information. Further explanation about Kurapika's specialization in an Emperor time and how all that works. Awesome, like, tense, like, moment. Great classic Togashi, more chapter blackish. Early Hunter exam stuff. But I think that's it. I pretty much talked about everything I wanted to. So, thanks for watching.